I just want to thank you all for coming. And if we could have, if anybody here was involved with making of the film, cast or crew, could you please stand, be recognized? I'm Rankin, Dean, the writer and director. I had a lot of favorites, obviously, but I also love the opening. I think it's just great because that was on a ranch that we used to own when I was growing up as a kid, and so to be able to go back there and film it, and Tony Garcia and Janet Garcia, who own it now, for letting us film there, and just everybody was so passionate. It was really hot, and everybody got sunburned, but everybody had a great attitude, and we got it done, and it was so close to being a Western. I want to make Western so bad. So
Western, the next project? Maybe. Okay, Sammy, please.
Hi, my name is Sammy Castillo. I am the stunt coordinator. I'm also sound designer and first AC and producer, yes. I don't really do a lot of these speeches in front of people, so excuse my if I ramble a lot. But my favorite scene of the movie had to be the one with Lobo and Bill in that kind of that fields that we shot there. Absolutely turned out great. We had a lot of challenges on that one, but it turned out fantastic. So that one's my personal favorite scene out of the movie.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lauren McDonald. My new last name is Cobb. I played Cindy Newman. My favorite scene, gosh, it's a tie between filming the dance scene here at the Paramount, but also the really cool fight scene at the end. I had never done anything like that before. They were like, no, hit him harder with the bat. I was like, okay, sorry. So it was really fun.
I'm George Levesque, and I played Lobo. And of course, I know I'm telling you something you already know, but Lobo is Spanish for wolf. And Lone Wolf is a mountain outside of Colorado City. And I'm from Colorado City. You're from Colorado City. So there's a little, anybody here from Colorado City? I was only in 3 scenes. My favorite one was the one at the Paramount, because it was like 3 seconds long and I didn't have any lines. That was nothing to memorize at all.
So the first question is for Rankin. What moved you to tell this story about New York, about Texas, about Mexico, about drug cartel?
You know, this is my 3rd feature, and I think I graduated college, I moved to LA, and I think I was just growing up and getting in the real world, and I realized that time isn't slowing down, and I think I just really wanted to make a movie that my parents would love to watch and enjoy, and I just wanted to make something that they would want to sit down and turn on TV and watch. And so that really inspired me to draw my roots and base it in a small town, Texas. And it actually was inspired from 2020. It was going to be a COVID movie about a couple from New York escaping COVID and going back to their hometown of Texas, and then things went crazy with people suspecting them bringing COVID back to the small town. But that changed, but that's where it was inspired from. So I kind of mixed the two together, and yeah, I wanted something slow. I got inspiration from No Country for Old Men, Hell or High Water, those kind of movies, and I love how they're slow and they're so captivating, and it's like just watching characters live in a world. And I wanted like real characters, real people that are like just watching them live and be. And so I drew inspiration from the adults that I grew up around, growing up in Colorado City, Texas, and how the way they talked and the way, you know, like they just want to sit down and chat. There's no rush really to go or do anything. And, you know, I kind of twang to it, and yeah, it was just a blast to make, and so much fun to make with my friends. And I just got to give a shout out to Cody Toll. He's not up here. He's the unit production manager. So, in charge of the films.
You mentioned your parents. Are they here?
Yes, Julie and Randy and Fuller. Oh, I guess they left. My sisters are here, and my niece. saw. And even the emotional scene where he's dying and she's right there with him, I remember editing that, and I just paused it, and I was like crying right there on my computer. Because I was so moved by them, and just like, it all hit me like, wow, this actually happened. Like, it's actually real life from the script.
Thank you, Rankin. Sammy, the next question is for you.
Yes.
So this was a multi-city shoot with company moves, filming on public transportation, moving cars, drones, action sequences. What was the biggest challenge for you?
I think the biggest challenge was just kind of handling all the complex, moving parts that we had in this film. Because this is our most ambitious project to date. And so, majority of the projects we've done is always like in one location, maybe two, and we're in that location for a long period of time. But this time, we're going to New York City, we're going to, we're at the farmhouse, we're at the police station, we're in all these different places, and it's just like, now it's time to the challenge is to handle all that and just be efficient with, because sometimes we don't have time, we only have maybe 2 or 3 hours to be in this location, so we have to get the necessity shots that we need. And so I think that was our biggest challenge, was just to push ourselves to get to that, to be efficient in our going.
Yeah. And this is not your first time stunt working.
No, it's not.
Okay. So what was it like tackling fight scenes, broken glass, guns, and an explosion
Yes, oh my gosh.
in a feature film?
Absolutely, I had a blast. I can't, I've seen so many drafts of this film, of the cuts and everything. And I was worried that it was just going to look bad just from but looking at it now, it's like we did such a great job. Especially my favorite was also too, when we had that huge fight at the end. And there's been so many times where I had to I was so scared, I want to hit you, and I want, if something happens, definitely with stunt work, you have to there's a level of safety into it, and luckily in this one, I doubled down, and we got all the actors, and we got a crash pad, and so we all, had some form of protection, especially with these crazy fight scenes that we were doing, but, and including, this is the first one that we actually incorporated a lot of, sugar glass, and as a material called balls of wood, which are very, it's a very fragile material, and it's just absolutely. We just had one, so just to think that if we were to break it, just barely break it, it would have ruined the entire scene. So we had to make sure to get our cues in and make sure we were getting our points in, because we only had one shot to really get it, and it actually turned out great.
What was rehearsal like for all of that? I mean, my goodness.
So I mean, we maybe hours before we actually started, getting on camera and shooting, we would go and just kind of rehearse that. Okay, we might, have Sydney come over here. I get punched. And maybe I throw her over a table, and then she kicks a chair, and I trip. It's just trying to use the environment, because I think that's really cool when it comes to fight scenes. Is instead of just hand-to-hand combat, you're using this is real life. You want to use what's in the around you. So that's why there's she's hitting me with a frying pan, and hitting me with tasers, and then I'm hitting her with plates and all kinds of stuff. And I just want to use the environment, and so we try to be as creative, but also again be efficient and get all the necessary shots that we need first.
I would actually, in the script, I would write up to the scene, and then whenever they start fighting, I would say, they fight. And then it's Sydney wins in the end, and they get to the scene. And then I would turn to Sammy and be like, all right, let's see what you come up with. Tell him, you can go here, yeah, this is free reign. And so he would just stand there for hours and what if we did this, and ask me. That's what we figured that out.
That's amazing.
Yes, but I want to again thank Rankin for giving me that range to be creative in that space, and also me and him collaborating at times when I didn't know exactly how to move forward when I was kind of stumped, but absolutely, and again, Josh and Warren are absolutely fantastic. You did so well.
Yes.
You did so well.
Yes.
Yeah, other than that, with producing the film and being Rankin
in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. with an actor you've met one time. You don't know where the set is. Oh, and by the way, it's going to be at 3 in the morning. And that was a huge challenge, but at the same time, it was a ball. It was an absolute ball. And I want to say something about the team that made the show, because I've done a lot of shows, again, play and musical-wise. I don't know that I've been a part of a more organized production than these guys. Sammy and Cody Toll and Rankin and Catherine with the costumes, and everybody was emailing you all the time. You knew where to go, what the code was to get in the gate, what you were supposed to be, what time the shoot was going to be. You were told a week before, and then 2 days before, and the day of. It was really pretty amazing, the level of organization, and I was kind of blown away with it, to be frank, and you guys deserve more kudos than I can give you for that.
Good job. Was this your first feature film?
Kinda. I did a voiceover for Rankin's last movie, The End of Eight, but it was just a voiceover. So, and I was a news anchor for 18 years, and he walked in and went, here's some news, would you read it? So it's real hard to get in character. And I think he left the office like 5 minutes later with the audio. So this was the first time acting in the film.
And so, how different was that for you? There's definitely a shift when the screen is this size instead of the stage being this size.
Yeah.
Yeah, how was that for you?
The first scene, there was really 2 scenes with dialogue that I was in. One was the one, kind of early on in the movie, 4 years prior. And I remember being real nervous and spending way too long learning the lines and still not remembering them or being able to recall them, regurgitate them at the right time. But then, by the time we made it out in the boondocks for the killing scene, and also it was 2 to 3 in the morning, I was so relaxed, and I thoroughly enjoyed killing Mitchell Bradford 6 times. And he's such a sweet guy. He's like a religion major at ACU, and I shot him in the head 6 times. And the first time I was so nervous, because I'm like, I'm a nice guy, he's a nice guy, I've known him forever. And then by the 6th time, I'm like, this is cathartic. Let's get this out. It's great.
Thank you, George. Lauren. Yes, it is your time. So you have some similarities with your character. Sydney, can you tell us about those?
Yes, well, I love to dance, so that's number one. But thinking about it, I really related to her struggle, her internal struggle. I mean, we were just in the thick of COVID / maybe coming out, we weren't sure yet. And so I was at a big shift in my life where COVID had completely disrupted I'm a musical theater dance extraordinaire. I love it with my whole heart. And so I really related to her struggle. Just one day, they're like, okay, well, see ya. We don't know when we'll come back. So I really related to that. And 2, she is smart. I would like to consider myself also a smart person. I love Sydney and just getting to embody her character. Yeah, I think those are the two biggest similarities. Really enjoyed playing.
And you've worked with Rankin and Sammy before.
Ooh, yes.
Yes. So how was this experience new or different for you than the others?
Well, it was longer for that matter. I've done 2 short films with these guys. Yeah, I think the process was a lot. It was longer. I think we were filming. I was on set for about a month, just about. Whereas the others, I mean, we shot them in a day. So it was really awesome to get to be with them for a whole month and experience their process. I mean, I could just speak forever about how much I appreciate Rankin as a director and a writer. He makes my job so easy. I'm given a script, but I'm like, yeah, I totally would see the character saying this. He motivates, helps motivate every action that he's asking me to portray as an actor. And just kind of like what Sammy was saying, how he gives us, as also creatives, the space to create with him. It was just, I would be happy to work with them over and over and over again just because of who they are and how their process works. So,
I totally understand, yes.
and that was super fun. But yeah, I'm in Kingsville with my husband. I started a dance program out there. I'm also working with the high school drill team. This is a local high school drill team, and I love it so much. But then my agency has been so kind to me and letting me do all of my auditions remote. So I've done some commercial work, and yeah, I'm just taking it one day at a time, waiting for that next yes.
That's how we all.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Is there anyone in the audience with questions for our group up here? Y'all raise your hand or something. I see, yes, right here.
You got any distribution plans for this?
So right now it's going through film festivals, and it's been selected to the Orlando Film Festival. And this is great because this gives opportunity for streaming services and scouts to view the film at these festivals and maybe potentially pick it up or give us a deal or distribution deal for theaters or whatever. So right now we're taking it slowly, and if anything, we'll release it back on Amazon Video like we did for the last film. But we're looking to hopefully meet some new people, make some new connections, and look for different avenues. But it'll definitely be online somewhere available to watch.
When is the Orlando Film Festival?
It is later this month.
Other questions in the audience? Catherine, is that you? No, behind Catherine. Sorry, yes, go ahead.
Hi.
Hard to see.
Yes, my question is, how does one get in touch with you, Rankin and or Sammy, if we have written a Western screenplay?
Great. You can get in touch with us at our website, BeyondStarFilms.com, or you can email us at BeyondStarFilms@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your interest.
I saw a question up here, my child. Yes.
How long does this overall take to film it and all that?
From pre-production on to, so the question is from pre-production, post-production, how long does it take?
I started writing February 2021, and we started shooting July 2021, and we wrapped filming August 15th, so about 28 days later, and then I slept for a month. And then I started editing right away, moved to New York, took my computer and the hard drives, massive hard drives, 24 terabytes of footage, and started editing, and we finished the first rough cut in June of 2022. So it took almost a year to edit.
Yes.
Are any of your films available on DVD or Blu-ray?
No, we don't have anything on DVD or Blu-ray. We tried that, and it just seems like a really long, complicated process. And since we had it at Amazon, West was here who plays Deborah.
Yes.
And I think I saw one more hand toward the back, yes.
Okay, as far as your writing process, do you like start with characters first, or do you start with the plot? Yeah, I'm just wondering your kind of process of writing a script.
Something interesting about me is I always start with the title.
Okay.
I think of the title, and then I think of the story that goes with that title, and then it's definitely the plot. I very vividly see the beginning and the end. I know what those are. It stays that way almost always. And then I throw in characters, and yeah, it kind of just, as I write it, kind of comes to me. I watched like 3 master classes on masterclass.com about screenwriting while I was writing, so that was really interesting.
Which one is that masterclass geek too?
Well, Aaron Sorkin and Mark Scorsese.
Thank you guys, thank you the audience for your support, thank you for just being with us, letting us entertain you. And will y'all be hanging back for a little if people have other questions they don't want to ask?
Yes, absolutely. We'll be in the lobby. Come by, say hi, and feel free to take a photo with us and use that backdrop to take photos. And also, you may have seen it around the flyers with the QR code. You can scan that with your phone and go to the link and leave us a review. Let us know what you thought about the movie. And you can also go to our IMDb